you continue to put the fire of faith in your life, because God is able to do what He had planned to do for your life. That is my encouragement statement, because I'll be preaching something different. So I want to take this opportunity to welcome many of you who are watching me through Facebook, and those people who are here together with us. As usual, we have so many people who are not able to come to church, and they are watching us through Facebook. And I want to take this opportunity to welcome you all as we share the Word of God. And today I want to share the Word of God in the book of, let me tell you for a moment. I want us to share the Word of God in the book of John, chapter 12, from verse 24. John chapter 12, from verse 24. The Gospel of John, chapter 12, from verse 24. The Bible says, Truly, truly, I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains one. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. Let me read it again, because that is only one verse here. John chapter 12, verse 24. The Bible says that truly, truly, I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains one. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. I want you to underline the name, but if it dies. And also I want to underline the name, much fruit. Because today I'll be speaking about bearing fruit. Today I'll be speaking about bearing fruits. And the Bible tells here in the book of John 12:24 that unless a seed of grain falls down and dies, it continually remains one. But if it falls down and it dies, it multiplies. And we are all farmers. We have come from places where we know the theory of planting and harvesting. We all know that when we have a seed, for example, where I come from, we have big tracts of land. And I remember when we were young, we could plant seed in our land. We could plant maize, we could plant beans, we could plant so many other seeds. And I remember we used to dig some holes, and we could put, for example, if it is maize or corn, as they call it here, if it is maize, they would put like 2 or 3 seeds. They would put 2 or 3 seeds in that hole. And after maybe 7 or 8 months, when you go there, you get a whole palm that is full of so many maize, like 400. I have never counted, but you find one bee having like 300 or 200 or 400 seeds. Where did it come from? It initially came from the first seed, the seed that you put on the soil. But when you go there after 8 months or 6 months, I'm saying 8 months, especially where we come from in Africa, I know things here are different, because they are all those kind of growing very fast. And so it can even take 2 or 3 months for you to get a maize that is complete. But back in Africa, it takes like 6 months. But when you go there, the seed that you put on the soil, when you go there to harvest, you find that you have a whole cob that is containing like 400 seeds. Where did it come from? It came from that one seed that we planted on the soil. And when you go and dig on that soil to get the original seed, you will find that you're not going to find that seed. What happened? For that seed to grow to so many seeds, number one, it died. It killed its identity. It died completely, and after dying, it was able to produce so many fruits. It was able to produce so many seeds. It was able to produce so many other maize that we can use for any other way. For it to grow and to mature and to become and to multiply, there was death. Even we read about the story of Jesus, how he died, one man, for all of us to have life. It took one man to die. He died, and so that so many of us can live. Equally, this is now the death that I'm talking. I'm not talking, Jesus was good because Jesus died both physical. He died physical death. But I'm speaking today about bearing fruits, how we can be able to bear fruits by dying ourselves. How we can be able to grow and mature and multiply by allowing ourselves to die, by killing our identity, who we are, the physical, the what do we call it, the self, so that we can produce many fruits. And when we allow ourselves to die, there are three things that happen. Number one, we mature. When we allow ourselves to die, I'll come to say, before I complete, I'll say what we are supposed to die and how we are supposed to die. But there are three things that happen. Number one, we mature. And number two, we glorify God. And number three, we are able to attract many who are out there. And today, actually, I'll be talking about attracting many who are out there. By how we are growing and maturing and bearing fruits, how can we be able to attract many who are out there? How can we be able to evangelize? All of us as a family, even those who are watching us in Facebook, how can we be able to evangelize? By just bearing fruits. How can we be able to go and, so many come to the house of God by just bearing fruits? There's this one question that we keep asking ourselves. And one day I was also asking myself, why do we have so many churches? Why do we have so many churches? We have so many churches. And people are asking, why are we having so many churches? Yet we are worshiping one God. We are worshiping one God. Our mission statement is the same. Our visions are the same. Why can't we come together as different churches and congregate in one church? Because if you are worshiping one God, we can come together and worship one God. But I have come to realize that there are two ways that we can be able to spread the gospel. I have come to realize that people uses different approaches to go and spread the word of God. There are people who use what we call zoom out in. I will explain that. I know at the end of the day, we are going to get somewhere. Zoom out in. And there are people who zoom in out. Those are the two ways people normally use to evangelize. There are people who zoom out in, and there are people zoom in out. What I mean by this, and these are not the terms that are somewhere in the books. These are the terms that I have used just for explanation of what I want to say. What I mean is that when you talk about zoom out in, there are people who always believe that the world out there is evil. In fact, we all believe that the world out there is evil. That's why even the Bible is telling us, do not conform to the pattern of the world. Because the world out there is evil. The world out there is full of people who are not good. We call them, it is evil. And so we are even protecting our children not to conform to the pattern of the world. We are protecting them. We believe that the world out there, it is evil. And so what we normally do, we want those children, we want to try how we can be able to bring those people who are out there, to bring them to church. When I talk about zoom out in, I give you an example here. If I have this is my camera here. If I have a photo here, and this photo is big in size. I don't have any photo here, but I assume I have my photo here. It is big in size. What am I going to do if I want to see it clearly? I'm going to minimize. I'll target from outside and zoom in the photo so that I can be able to see the photo clearly. I have to go out and zoom in so that I can be able to see my photo clearly. On the opposite, if I have a photo that is small here and I want it to be big, what am I going to do? I have to zoom in out so that I can see the photo clearly, so that I can see everything that I need to see. Equally, I'm saying there are two categories of people how we preach the gospel. Number one, there are people who zoom out in. They believe the word out there is evil. And so they concentrate on going out there and bringing people to the house of God. That is what we call Zoom. They concentrate on out, coming in. And there are also people who believe that we are supposed to deal with ourselves. We are supposed to deal with ourselves. Then when we go out there, we display an image. We deal with ourselves, but when we go out there, we display an image that will attract many people who can come to the house of God. That is what I mean, Zoom, in, out. So I deal with myself. So when I deal with myself, when I go out there, I don't need to say anything. But people will see me, myself, and they will come to the house of God. What do I mean? What does the Bible say in the book of John 17? When Jesus was praying, and he was praying before his death, he prayed for himself. Before he died, he prayed for himself. And he also prayed for his disciples. And he also prayed for all of us. And he said in the book of John, chapter number 17 from verse 20, he said, before his death, Jesus prayed this prayer. I do not ask for those only, but also for those who believe in me through their word, that they may be one, but that they may be all be one, just as your Father are in me and I in you, that they also may be in us, so that the world may know, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. He is saying, what I am praying before I die, I pray for myself. And again, I pray for my disciples. And again, I pray for all people, that they may be having unity. They may live in unity. They may live in love. So that the world out there may know. So that the world out there may see the love in us. So the world out there may see the unity in us. So in other words, he's saying there are people who are going to believe, not because of the message that we are going to preach out there, but because of seeing the unity within us. Because of seeing the love within us. Yes. There are people who are out there, they are going to believe, he is saying, so that the world may know. In other words, he is saying, I want to zoom in, out. I want to deal with ourselves. If they can have unity, if they can have love towards each other, the world out there will know that they do that. That are our disciples. That is what I mean by zooming in, out. By dealing with ourselves. We as a family, we as a congregation, we as an individual, I myself as a person, if I want to attract many, number one, I have to deal with myself. And the way I deal with myself, when I go out there, I will attract many to the house of God, even without saying anything. Amen. The way I treat myself, Jesus Christ is saying, I pray that they may be one. Amen. I pray that they may live in unity. Amen. I pray that they may love each other. Yes. So that when the world out there will see the unity in that. The world out there will see the unity. And when the world sees the unity, they will desire to be like them. Yes. When the world out there, they see the love in them, they will desire to be with them. Bwana Yesu asifiwe sana. I am trying to explain this zoom in out and zoom out in. And today I'm saying both of them, they are good. But I want us as a congregation, as those people who are watching me in Facebook, that we try to zoom in, out, whereby we can deal with ourselves. We can prepare ourselves. We can bear fruit ourselves. When we go there, we display ourselves. And when we display ourselves, the world will know that these people serve the true God. Amen. Amen. The Bible says, when you talk about, there is a story in the Bible, in the New Testament, the story of the tax collector. The Bible says, it's actually in the book of Luke. One day that Jesus was walking from Jerusalem to Jericho. And the first person he met with was Bartimaeus. And he did the first miracle by giving him back the sight. And he continued with his journey. And the Bible says he came across, when he approached Jericho, he came across a man who was called Zacchaeus. Or other people call it Zacchaeus, depending on how you can pronounce that name. He came across a man called Zacchaeus. And the Bible says that this man was short, and there was a big crowd, and he had a desire. Zacchaeus had a desire. He wanted to see Jesus. But he could not be able to see Jesus because this man was short. So he had a curiosity. He had a desire. This is a man who was a sinner. A man who was regarded as an evil by many people who are there because he was a tax collector. And we all know that we don't like taxmen. And especially where we come from, we don't like KRAs. Because when we talk about KRAs, we all think about getting our money. So this man who was called Zacchaeus, he was a tax collector. And the Bible says he had a desire to see Jesus. And because of his stature, he was short, he could not be able to see Jesus. And so he ran and he cried. This is a story that we used to do when we were at church school. So we all know this story. That this man ran and he climbed a tree. And this tree, they call it a sycamore tree. And I am happy when I was in Israel last year, I was able to see the sycamore tree. I was in Jericho and I climbed that sycamore tree where Zacchaeus was. And so this man ran and he climbed a sycamore tree. And when he climbed a sycamore tree, when Jesus approached him, he looked up and he said, Zacchaeus, come down, because today I am going to eat in your house. Come down, Zacchaeus, because today I am going to eat in your house. And Zacchaeus hurriedly came down and they went to his house. And you know he stayed with Zacchaeus. I have not read in my Bible where Jesus said, you know, the Bible says that those people, they gathered and started murmuring. Why is he going to a sinner? Why is he going to that person? This person is a sinner. He has stolen our money. He has taken our money. Why is he going there? I have never seen in the Bible where Jesus said, and now Zacchaeus, I have come to preach you the gospel. I have come you. Do you know that you are supposed to be born again? Do you know that you are supposed to come to church? The Bible says he went there and he stayed with Zacchaeus. And because of that love, because of that compassion, because of that way, oh my goodness, Zacchaeus said, because of the love that you have shown me, today I have to pay back. That is how Jesus was able to evangelize. He displayed a character of love. He displayed a character of humbleness, that he could be able to go even to that person who is very least. He was able to go to that person who is very least. And when this person who is very least see the love, see the compassion, that is somebody who can be able to embrace him the way he is. People have been accusing him. People have been seeing him as sinner. But there is somebody who has come to extend love to him. Yeah. And when they see that, when he felt that love broke his heart. Oh. And he said, oh my, if I can have such a kind of a guest in my house, yes. Today, if I have taken anything to anybody, I am going to pay 3 times. Wow. 3 or 4 times. 4 times. And half of my properties, I'll give them to the poor. Jesus displayed an image. He zoomed in out. He zoomed in out. He displayed the fruits of love. He displayed the fruits of love to this sinner. He displayed the fruits of humbleness to this sinner. You can imagine President Trump coming and saying, hey, come here, Samuel. Today I'm going to stay in your house. And we are there sitting with the President Trump. And he's, oh my goodness, I'll say today, I can say everything. So this man was so...
I will pay all my back taxes.
Oh, I will pay everything. And if I have stolen any taxes to anybody, if I have stolen anything, I will pay everything. Amen. And if at all I have any criminal sin, I repent. Amen. It will be my day. Amen. So Jesus displayed the image of love. He displayed the image of humbleness. Because you can imagine somebody of the stature of Jesus going to the scene. Somebody of the stature of Jesus going to that person's very point of house where he was living. This man, Jesus, he displayed the image of love. And this is what I am talking about. How can we be able to deal with ourselves? How can we be able to deal with ourselves as a person, as a congregation? And when we go out there, we can be able to display fruits. And when we display fruits, they are going to attract people to the house of God. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. They are going to bring people to the house of God. The other day, my wife was telling me, I know my DON, where she works. I know my DON. I know she is born again. She has never told me that she is born again, but I know she is born again. Why did she tell me that? Because there are some fruits that she can be able to display to all the workers that are there. And everybody can say, this person surely is born again. Wow. And this is the image I want to talk about today. How can we display this image, including me? Because like Mom said, I am also a sinner. I am not coming to lecture to you that I am an expert in this. I am also a sinner. Yes. And I also pray God that there are so many things in my life that need to die so that I can be able to grow fruits. Yes. There are so many things in my life that I need to tell God, cut this and prune this because I want to bear fruits. Amen. How can we be able to display these fruits? And so these fruits can be able to bring many people to the house of God. Amen. How can we be able to display ourselves as good image bearers of God? And so when we display ourselves, many people can come to our house. It is by dying for the self. For us to multiply, for us to grow, for many people to come to the house of God, for many people to believe in God, we have to completely die for ourselves. Yes. We have to tell gossip, I know I have a seed of gossip, but today I talk to you gossip. Die for me because I want to build another fruit inside me. We have to tell the seed of pride. Pride, I know I have your seed. I know I have your seed. But from today, I want you, pride, to die for me. Yes. I want to talk to you. What is the other seed? There are so many seeds we can talk about. There are so many seeds that we have as human beings. There are people who are having seeds of bitterness in their life. They are so bitter. And as long as we want to bear fruits in our lives, in as long as we want to display ourselves as image, so when people who are out there can see us and come to the house of God, we have to kill these seeds. The Bible says in the book of Apostle Paul, when he's talking about when he's talking to the Galatians, in the book of Galatians chapter 5 from verse 19, he is mentioning to us, or he is saying, some of the fruits, some of the seeds in us that are supposed to die. And he is saying, the acts of the flesh are obvious. Sexual immorality, impurity, debauchery, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, discord, jealousy, fits of rage, selfishness, dissensions, functions, envy, drunkenness. He also called orgies, and many more. He said those are the fruits. Those are the seeds of our flesh. And like Pastor said, sometimes we also have to hear a message that can pinch us. We want to hear a message that can pinch us. And so that we can be able to analyze ourselves. We can also audit ourselves. Because we have to be real out there. People have come to the point whereby witnessing to somebody is very difficult. Yesterday I was trying to witness to somebody who is a Muslim in my working place. And you can imagine me witnessing to somebody who is a Muslim. It is difficult because most Muslims, they don't convert themselves because of just witnessing. It requires the Spirit of God. Yes. It requires deep touching. And nowadays, people are dry in their heart. You go to speak a message that is very moving, but they don't care. They don't care because their hearts are now very hardened. People of the world now, they don't want even to hear the message. But there are another way that we can use. There is another approach that we can use. An approach of displaying a seed that will call them, a seed that will provoke them to come to where you are.
Yes.
Nowadays, it is not just saying, praise the Lord, I know I am born again. Can you come? I want you to be born again. Sometimes it is hard. Nowadays, it is not just walking, talking the walk. It is walking the talk.
Yes.
Bearing fruit is more effective than even going there and preaching the word of God. Bearing fruits.
Yes.
Bearing fruits. People seeing some things in you that are very unique and they are attracted to you. People seeing a unique thing in your life and they are attracted to you. Oh, our sister Margaret. Do you see how loving she is? Our desire to be like her. Oh, our mom, whatever, the other one. Oh, the other person. Do you know how they are even united in their family? I desire to be like them. The world out there, they are able to know, they are able to see how we are living, and they are attracted by our way of living. And this is what I'm preaching today. That we can be able to display an image, and this image will attract many. This image will attract many to the house of God. Bwana Yesu asifiwe sana. The Bible says in the book of Nehemiah that when Nehemiah was building the wall, when he was rebuilding the wall, there are so many people who came, and there are these Tobias and Sanballat who was passing aloud, and they were ridiculing this man, and they were telling him, "You are just doing zero work. What are you doing? It is zero work. This wall will fall down. You are not doing anything." But the Bible says that this man kept quiet and he continued building the wall. And he built the whole wall. And when the wall was complete, the Bible says that all the enemies, all the people who are talking about him, those people who are shouting about him, they came and they say, this work has been completed only because of the word of God. Nehemiah displayed a seed of patience. Yes, you can say any manner of things, but I keep quiet. I will not say anything to you. You can abuse me. You can say all manner of things. You can say all what you are going to say, but I am going to display seeds of love. I am going to display seeds of patience. I am going to display seeds that are not of bitterness. I will continue with my work. I will continue with my work. And at the end of the day, when the wall was complete, when the wall was completed, the Bible says that all the enemies of the world, they came and they say, this work has been completed by the hand of God. Let me tell you, my brothers and my sisters, that displaying ourselves, people who have seeds that are attractive to many people, will bring many people to the house of God. Our way of living, our way of interacting with people who are out there, the way we stay at our places of work, the way we carry ourselves, we can become witnesses of Christ even without speaking, even without saying anything. How we carry our lives, how we relate with other people, how we respond to our neighbors, how we help others, how concerned we are. It speaks volumes than any other way. Because I may speak this way today, but when I go somewhere else, I am totally different. And today I want to tell you, we can zoom in going outside. Even in our family, I as a husband, for me to live with my wife very well, I have to deal with myself. I have not to try to change her because she is different. I have to, first of all, deal with myself. And when I deal with myself, I'll be able to contain her. Equally ourselves, we have to display the fruits that are likable. And when we display the fruits that are likable, we are going to attract many to the house of God. The Bible says that Jesus did not take a Bible to preach to Zacchaeus, but he displayed his fruits. He displayed the fruits of love. He displayed the fruits of concern. And Zacchaeus, He said, because of that love, today I'm going to take turn back all what I've stolen. And the Bible says that Jesus said, today salvation has come to your house. He did not force anything. He did not push anything. Just because of displaying love. Just because of displaying compassion. Just because of displaying humbleness to those people. The Bible says that Zacchaeus could not withhold that love. He could not withhold that stamina. He said, today I'm going to turn back. Let me tell you, if there is something that is moving, if there is something that is moving, I don't say, the word of God is also very moving. Very moving. But if there is something that is moving, it is the fruits that we give to other people. It is the way we relate to other people. It is the way we carry other people. Because these are the people that we want them to come in the house of God. That is the most important. The way we relate with other people. That is the most important thing in our lives. And that's why I'm saying, as a church and as a congregation. And when I was praying, because we have taken time even to pray and fast, one of the things that I was praying is that let this church be a congregation of difference. Because I know there are congregations out there that are different. Where I come from, Nakuru, I know a certain church. You are going to know the members of that church based on how they carry themselves. And you are going to say, these people, they are born again. How? Because of the way they are able to produce fruits. How they interact, they interact with other people, we can always say that they are born again. And I was telling God, I pray that this congregation, as we come together as a fellowship, the members that are going to come in this church, they are going to display an image out there. They are going to display an image out there. That we are going to see people coming to church and they will be saying, I saw Jason and the way he was carrying himself, I desired his God. And now I have come to where he goes to church. I saw my sister there, and the way she was helping us, I desire how she was living, and now I desire to come to that church. Displaying an image, and we cannot display an image until we die for ourselves, until we kill our identity, for so many fruits to come out, until we kill bitterness in us, so that love can come in us, until we kill bitterness in us, so that compassion and concern can come to us. We cannot display an image. And today my prayer is that may each and every one of us, individually and even as a church, may we be able to display an image out there, so that everybody who are going to see us, they are going to say that this is a congregation, and a congregation that is unique. This is a congregation which is different from others. I know my brother Jason, he said, it is not only the Bible, but I can go to Kenya, I can dig a well, and when people they come and see the love, they are going to say, I desire Jesus of Jason. You can do anything. It is not only about money. You can give somebody a call. How are you doing? I heard that you are sick. That concern can pull somebody to the house of God. One is was if you are zooming in, out. Yes. Concentrating with ourselves, dealing with ourselves, dealing with our weakness. Telling God, Lord, I know I want to preach the word of God, but I want to commit myself. I know I have this problem, but I commit myself. May you kill that seed of that problem, so that I can be able to go out there and preach the word of God. You know, currently I'm working a state job, and this state job sometimes is very challenging because of policies. You know, when you're working for the government, there are so many policies. So many policies. In fact, in our department, we have 804 policies. 804 policies. And so sometimes it is hard even to know which policies is where. Yeah. And I try as much as possible. And I am new. And I am a person who is a foreigner coming from another country. And so my colleagues are all white and whatever. But you see, I feel relieved when one or two, and I know they are out, they come and tell me, Mwangi, you are doing a very good job. You are doing a very good job. I can see you are trying. You are doing a very good job. I feel attracted to them. I feel attracted to those people. Why? They have something that is unique among so many people who are working there. They are displaying a seed of concern to me. They are displaying a seed of love to me. they are able to accommodate me. And when I see that, I am attracted to them. Equally ourselves, there are seeds that we have to attract people with those seeds.
Yes.
And we have to display an image. Jesus is praying, and he is saying, Lord, I pray for one thing. I pray that these people may live in unity. I pray for these people that they love each other. So by loving each other, the world will know. The world will know. And ourselves, the world, we want the world to know. We don't want to go to the world and tell them. We want the world to see what we are displaying. And when we display, the world will know and they will desire to be like us. Amen. What is the name of the living God? They will desire to be like us. The Bible also gives a story of the Good Samaritan. We all know the story of Good Samaritan. The Bible says this was a lawyer who was trying to test Jesus. And he asked Jesus, Jesus, what can I do so that I can inherit the kingdom of God? And because he was a lawyer, as scribe, he knew the law. He was testing Jesus. And the Bible says, Jesus told him, what does the law say? And because he knew the law, he said, you are supposed to love your God, your father. You are supposed to love your God. You are supposed to love your neighbor. And Jesus told him, you know it, go do that. And the Bible says that this man continued, and he asked Jesus, and who is my neighbor? And the Bible says that Jesus came up with a story. He made up a story. And many people, they don't know that this story is not real. It is a story that Jesus came up with. And he said, there was a man who was going on a journey. And on the course of the journey, he was attacked by robbers. And they beat him, and they left him half dead. And so there are three men who was passing on the way. The first person who was passing on the way, he was a priest. And the Bible says that when he saw the man lying down there, he just passed and go. The second man who was passing down there was a Levite. Remember, the priest and the Levite, they represent Christians. They are working. They are supposed to be representation of. They are supposed to represent ourselves with God. They are supposed to represent us to God. They are people who work in the church. These are the priests and the Levites. And the Bible says that they passed. But there is this man who he called the Good Samaritan. And remember, the Good Samaritan by that time, he was like a demon. He was like an evil. Yeah. But the Bible says when he got to that person, he found the man lying down there. He said, I cannot go and leave this man the way he said. And the Bible says that he knelt down. He did the first aid. He took the man, put him in the donkey, and took him to the hospital, to the inn. Mm-hmm. And he said, let this man stay here. He fed them, and he said, and he gave them money, and he said, let this man stay here. Any cost that will come because of this man, I'm going to pay it. You know, after 2 days. But you see, the Bible is not talking about what happened after that. But assuming this story is true, that this man, after several days, he was healed, he was okay. And those three men stood up in front of them. And there was a priest, there was a Levite, and there was a Samaritan. And they all say, now, we want to recruit you to become one of us. Assuming the story is true. And they say, now we want to recruit you to become one of us. And the priest will say, now, you know I am a man of God. Do you want me to become our member? And you say, no, I don't know you. And the Levite will say, but the Good Samaritan, because of displaying an image of love, because of displaying an image of compassion, because of displaying the image of selfishness, what we call unselfishness, because he had his plans, he was going for a journey, he had his businesses, but he said, I cannot leave this person down there. I have first of all to deal with this person. And he dealt with that person. Because of displaying that sin, the Bible says, if he wanted this man to become a member of the church, it was very easy. Just the way we display ourselves. Just the image that we give out there. Just the way we display our seed. Paul is continuing in the book of Galatians 5:22. He is saying, by the fruits of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Praise the name of the Lord. I am talking about bearing fruits. Bearing fruits that they can help in evangelism. And I'm talking about today, not even going there and preaching the word of God, but the way you carry yourself, your lifestyle, the way you live with people, the way you live with your co-workers, the way you live with your neighbors, the way you display yourself, the way you show concern to others. That is the most important thing in our life, so that we can have as many people as possible. So the word out there, they will know that there is a person who is displaying this seed. Paul is saying that the fruits are love, joy, peace, kindness. And he is saying, in chapter 5, in chapter 5, he is saying, if we can be able to kill these seeds of idolatry, of hatred, of discord, of jealousy, of selfish, if we can be able to kill those seeds, then after killing those seeds, now there are new seeds that are going to grow in our lives. And these seeds are seeds of goodness, seeds of gentleness, seeds of kindness, seeds of self-control, seeds of love, seeds of joy. And when we have those seeds, when we display ourselves to the world, we will not even need to preach the word of God. When we display those seeds, sometimes it is tough, because there was somewhere we went with my wife somewhere, and even before we knocked the door, they told us, we are born again, and we are born again, and we are led by the Spirit, and God, what did they say? God talked to us through different ways, through visions, and it was a testimony of like 5 minutes. And I was telling my wife, the entire period that we stayed there are some food that were missing in that person. Even though the talking was good, even though the speech was good, I could know there are several things that were missing in that person. Because nowadays it's not about saying, it's not about talking. It is not about talking, my brothers and my sisters. It is about actions. If we can be able to combine this word here with bearing fruits out there, if we can be able to speak this word, and when we speak about love that is written in the Bible, we can go down there and show love to those people. If we can be able to speak about this word, and when I stand here, I become a testimony of compassion. If I can be able to speak about this word, and when I talk about not being bitter, I go there and exercise kindness, I exercise patience, then I tell you there are so many people who can come to the house of God. There are many people who are accused in the church today. And they are saying now, they are talking this way, but they are going this way. People are speaking this way, but they are going this way. It is about the image that we display. It is about the image that we display. And we can be able to kill the self. We can be able to tell God, I have this problem. And we have all the problems. We know ourselves. I know myself. I know I might be having this and this challenge. If I can tell God, whenever I go before the Lord, I tell God, I pray that you may prune this problem on me. I pray that you may prune bitterness in me. I pray that you may prune hatred in me. I pray that you may prune. I pray that you may prune something on me. We can be able to display a good image. And when we display a good image, everybody will desire to be like us. Yes. Everybody will desire to be like us. Let me finish with one story of the Old Testament. The Bible says in the book of 1 Samuel that the Lord said to Samuel, how long will you mourn for Saul, since I have rejected him as a king? The Bible says in the verse 2 that it says in verse 2 that I am sending you to Jesse of Bethlehem. I have chosen one of his sons to be the king. But Samuel said, how can I go? If Saul hears about it, he will kill me. The Lord said, take a heifer with you and say, I have come to sacrifice to the Lord. Invite Jesse to the sacrifice, and I will show you what to do. You are to anoint for me the one I indicate. Samuel did what the Lord said. When he arrived at the Bethlehem, the elders of the town trembled. I just want to jump. Let me go to verse 6. When they arrived, Samuel saw Eliab. We all know the story, how David was anointed. And the Bible says that one by one, the sons of Jesse passed by, one by one. And when Samuel saw Eliab, the muscular man, the energetic man, the person whose physical appearance was so good, Samuel said, this is the anointed of God. In his mind, he felt that this is the person that God wants to anoint. But the Bible says, one by one, they continue to pass. And God told Samuel, in verse 7, do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord look at the heart. Praise the name of the living God. Amen. The people consider the physical appearance. Yes. But myself, I don't look the physical appearance. I consider the inside. In other words, he is saying, I don't consider how people are from the outside. Number one, I have to consider the seeds that are inside me. I have to consider the seeds that are inside her. Is there a seed of love in her? Is there a seed of kindness in her? I can be big in the outward. I can be very eloquent. I can be masculine in the way I am. I can be the best person even to do so many things. I can be the brightest person. But the Bible says that God told Samuel that you people, you consider the flesh. You consider what you see outside. But personally, I don't consider the flesh. I consider what I see inside. I consider the seeds that are inside you. Can this person be able to bear more fruits? And when he saw Eliab, he said, this Eliab, physical appearance is good. Maybe he can speak very well, but he doesn't have the seeds of humbleness. He doesn't have the seed of patience. He doesn't have the seeds of love in him. People consider the outward appearance, but personally I consider the seeds that are inside. And today, my brothers and my sisters, I want us to pray that God will help us. That we are going to die for self. Yes. That we are going to die for self. And let me tell you, even Paul said, I know my problem. Sometimes I want to do good things, but I cannot do good things. So, you cannot lie to me and lie to God. If you know you have a spirit of gossip, you know it. If you know you have a spirit of bitterness, you know it. If you know you have a spirit of pride, you know it. And the only thing is to go before the Lord and tell God, Lord, I commit myself to you. I desire to display an image that is likable to other people out there. I commit myself to you. And I pray that you may prune that seed of gossip. I want to attract the world out there. I want to zoom out in. And the only way I can do that, it is to display that good image. Display that good image that God used. This is the same way that Jesus Christ used to spread his gospel. Even though people say that he was eating with sinners, but he used to display the seeds of love. And by displaying the seeds of love, he was able to bring many. Those who are sinners, he was able to bring many. Let this church, the church of transformation, be a church of difference. Let us all be transformed in the way we live. Let us live according to the word. Let us speak about the word and be good examples from where we work. Let us be examples to the society we are living. Let us display seeds that are likable to other people there. And when we display those seeds, people will come and say, I want to go to that church. Those people are very unique. Those people are very different. The way they are living, they are very different. In our families, in our marriages, in our families, let us display fruits that are likable. And when we display those fruits, people will say, I want to become like them. Amen. I want to become like them. I pray, this is my prayer, that we are all going to desire to be a fruit. We are all going to desire to crucify our bodies and ourselves so that we can be able to be a fruit for Christ. May God bless you. And I want us to stand for just a minute. We go before